is happening to television? I mean, what, you know?
It's the best of times and it's the worst of times, right? Why I say it's the best of times is there's more competition than ever. There's more options than ever. But it's the worst of times because it's so hard to know what's on.
Right.
It's so hard to find shows. It's so hard to catch up if you missed them live. We got a long ways to go on that side.
And look, it's no secret that I want this show to be on TV one day. But what good is it if my show is on the Hebe channel? You know,
this is great. It's getting so meta now.
$8.94 on Time Warner, $12.89 on Dish. You know, it just doesn't mean what it used to be, having your own show.
And even when people reach the peak, I mean, when I read about morning TV, I think to myself, well, you know, the job that Matt Lauer has, this is not a plug, I promise.
No, but we should talk about that.
But I think to myself, you know, Matt Lauer's job is one of the best, most cherished, most dreamed about jobs in TV. And yet the job is smaller than it used to be, even at the peak, right? Even to be, you know, Matt Lauer is the guy that was on 9/11. He was the guy that was on the night after we got Bin Laden, the morning after we got Bin Laden. He's been there to hold the country's hand for the most important, events of the decade. And yet, even his ratings are shrinking. So even when you get to the top isn't as high as it used to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yet, it allows people like me to start blogs. And it allows people like you to live stream on the web. So how bad is it really?
Going to meet somewhere in the middle. Well, let's talk about this book a little bit. Top of the morning.
Sorry if that was kind of like...
No, it was a perfect segment because we're running out of time and I want to talk about it. You got in deep behind the scenes of the whole morning show wars, Today Show, Good Morning America, the whole Ann Curry debacle. Now, I'm curious, I'm sorry, what was that? See, Ann Curry's got fans. Big time.
I thought she said free Ann Curry. Because it sometimes feels like Ann Curry is being held hostage by NBC.
Where is she right now?
Well, the only times you ever see her, she's on the border of some war-torn country.
Right.
You know, like we saw her last in Syria. She was in Iran recently, interviewing the president of Iran. You know, she never gets to go anywhere, vacation looking. She never, nothing comfortable. But that's what she loves.
No report from St. Croix?
Yeah. No, but that's what she loves, I guess.
And you were describing, you wrote this book, you kind of got all these sources and you got into it. Matt Lauer, not a fan of yours anymore. Or was he ever?
I have to think about what to say.
What's your relationship now? I mean, the book's been out for a few months.
Is that camera recording me? It depends on what how honest I can be about this.
We can cut the cameras.
What was the question?
Well, you were described as Matt Lauer's arch nemesis after writing the book. And the book came out in May. It's been some months now. What's the status of the relationship these days? Is it still icy? Or have you talked to him?
I love that you call it a relationship.
Well, I guess it's more of a one-way relationship. You write about him. He doesn't give a fuck about you.
Let me try to...
be diplomatic here.
I'm going to be really gentle. The Today Show recently unveiled a new studio.
Really?
And I was very excited to get invited to go and see the studio. I wasn't sure if NBC would invite me.
Right.
So I got to talk to all the anchors and say hi to everybody, and everybody was very friendly. And it was wonderful to see everybody because it had been a long time since the book had come out. I hadn't seen any of the anchors. And I kind of positioned myself at the door so that when Matt was leaving, we could talk.
Yeah.
Didn't get to talk.
So
we still haven't spoken since the book came out.
Really?
So I hope that I can interview him for the paperback version. That's my new angle. Because I've got to update the book for the paperback.
Right.
And a lot's happened this year. I mean, the Today Show is stuck in second place. It drives them nuts. Getting back to your point about ratings, it drives them crazy. Even though they are 9/10 as popular as they were last year, if you think about it, to them, it feels like the whole world's flipped upside down.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that I can get some more interviews for the paperback. We'll see.
Right. For the paperback, maybe you could squeeze Scott's name in there.
Ooh. Yeah.
Maybe you could show up on the plaza.
Right.
Surprise
I'll be there
somehow.
with the signs behind Al Roker.
I thought about
That's
doing
the
that
closest I'm going to get.
I thought about that for the book. I thought about going, because the Today Show, unsurprisingly, didn't choose to have me on to talk about the book. I thought about going and holding up signs in the background and promoting the book that way.
Yeah.
But I guess I didn't quite get the courage up to do that.
Yeah. I'm more of a late night guy.
Yeah.
You can tell. I guess Bill Carter staked that territory out. You couldn't write about late night.
I mean, I remember reading
Late shift.
well, I didn't read it when it came out because I was unfortunately too young for it. But when I got around to reading, I read that and Three Blind Mice, and those were the books that made me think, gosh, there's so much on TV that we think happens, but really it's more interesting backstage.
Yeah.
Those two books were the ones that showed me it's really what happens behind the scenes that's actually more dramatic.
Oh, yeah.
Although it's been a boring year for this. I mean, morning TV was so interesting when I was writing the book. I got so lucky with the timing. Ann Curry gets fired, when I'm in the midst of reporting the book. I never would have guessed NBC would be so stupid to do that. But they were, and they did it. But now the book comes out, nothing's happened. It's been so quiet.
A little too quiet.
A little, good point. Hey, I've got till December 31st for the paperback, so maybe you're up to something.
Storms are coming. Well, listen, Brian, it's been wonderful talking to you. The book is awesome. Brian Stelter.
Thank you.
Brian Stelter.